Welcome back to OneStopTutorials.com. It's me, Alibaba, back again, sitting in front of Flash here. We're carrying on through the tools. Now, the next tool I want to get into is the shape tool, okay? And this is an absolutely great tool. It's an unbelievable tool, okay, the way you can modify shapes. But before I get into this, I quickly want to explain about the stroke and the fill. At the moment, by using the line, the pencil tool, and the pen tool, all we've been mainly focusing on is strokes, okay? But in the shape tool, we're going to have a stroke and a fill, okay? The fill is the area in the middle. The stroke is the line that goes around the area in the middle. And what you can do is, down here you have this pencil which states the stroke, and then you have a paint bucket which states what the fill is, okay? So you can click on this and you can click on this and you can change the color, okay? You can click on this and you can change the color. Let's change that one to red, so we got blue and red. You can also toggle in between these. So let's say in a moment we got red as the fill and blue as the stroke. You can click on this icon here, that will move the red as the stroke and blue as the fill, okay? This also allows you to edit these colors, okay, in a thing called the color up in the palettes here. Mine's up here. If yours isn't there, simply go to Windows and choose color. There it is there, okay? And what this allows you to do is it's very similar down here, and we'll be getting into this later. I just quickly wanted to show you though is, again, you can change the color. What you can do is make the color lighter, darker. You can come in, choose more of a color that you want. But like I say, we're going to be getting into this later, so do not panic. So I'm just going to quickly change this to, let's say, a black, and I'm going to make this, say, a green, just so you can see the difference in both. Let's grab ourselves the shape tool. In the shape tool, if you hold down your left mouse button, you'll notice we got the rectangular, the oval, rectangular primitive, the oval primitive, and the polystar. So let's start with the rectangle. If you just draw, left click and drag and draw, you'll notice that you get the green fill, which is here, the green fill, and the black stroke, okay? Just by left clicking and dragging will allow you to make any sort of boxy look that you want. Now if you hold down, at the moment you'll see it tangles everywhere. If you hold down shift, that now keeps it in proportion and makes a perfect square, okay? And the same, exactly the same for the actual oval. You can left click, drag, you can make it any shape that you want. If you add a shift to that, if you hold down shift, that will allow you to keep it in proportion and make a perfect circle. At the moment when you do this, when you drag down and hold shift, you'll notice that it's starting at the top and coming down to the bottom, okay? Let's say you didn't want that. Let's say you wanted to actually start from the middle. Well, if you hold down Alt or Option on your keyboard, okay, you'll now notice that the circle starts from the middle and works its way out, okay? And again, you can make any shape that you want. Let's say we did that again, held down Alt or Option, left click, dragged, but this time we added shift to it. Now you'll make a perfect circle starting from the middle, okay? So that's how they work, okay? So I'm just going to highlight them, delete them out. The next one we got in here, which I want to go over, is the polygonal star, okay? Now the way this works is the same thing. It's left click and drag, okay? And that will make you a polygonal star. Now if you come into your properties here, okay, my properties here, if you can't see it, simply go to Windows and choose properties, okay? You'll now notice in the shape option here, we have another option here called tool settings. And if we click on options, what it allows us to do is choose the style that we want. So we can have a star or a polygon. So I'm going to choose polygon. It asks you how many sides you want. So let's say we wanted a 5-sided polygon shape, okay? I hit OK. Now when I click, you'll notice we got a 5-sided polygonal shape. Again, we can come in, change that to 10. We also have a star point size. So let's say we come down to star and we chose, I don't know, 0.5, hit OK. You'll now notice that we got a star. You can rotate it while you're still holding down your left mouse button. You can rotate it to what you want. And there we go. So let me just quickly highlight that, delete that out. Now the next two that we got are a little bit more special, okay? You've got the rectangular primitive tool. And what this allows you to do, again, you can just do a, let me Control Z that and quickly change all these settings just so you can understand what I'm doing. I'm going to link these together. Okay, you can do exactly what you did before. You can just left click, drag, and that will make any sort of squarey shape. Hold down shift, and again that will allow you to keep it in proportion. But what this allows you to do inside of the page properties now, you have a rectangular option, okay? So these options here, these four sides, this is the top left corner, top right corner, bottom right corner, bottom left corner. Okay, at the moment these are all linked, which means if I apply a value in here, let's say of 25 pixels, and click off, you'll notice that 25 pixel gets applied to top, right, bottom, left, and you can see that we've now got a sort of 25 pixel curve going around our corners. Okay, let's say for instance you only wanted to have a 25 pixel at the top, 25 pixel at the right, and nothing at the bottom. Okay, well what you can do is unclick this link here. You can left click on that, and at the bottom here choose 0, choose 0, and when you click off, you'll now notice that we got a square bottom and we got rounded edge. So it's really very powerful. You know, you can come in here and you can get a lot of the shapes that you want. Again, I'm going to grab myself the selection tool, let's select the area, I'm going to hit delete. And the last one we got on the list here is called the oval primitive tool, and again you'll notice again we've got different options. What I'm going to do is I'm just going to bring these back to 0. Again, you can do the same thing, left click, drag, hold down shift, that will put it into a perfect circle. Now what you can do here is you can adjust the start angle and the end angle. Okay, so I could make the start angle, let's say it's 250. Okay, and let's say the end angle, I don't know, 340. Okay, you'll notice that the shape has been cut to a more of a sort of, I don't know, pie looking thing, a bit of cake or something. Okay, you don't have to type in your own values. What you can do is you can just drag the sliders and you'll notice that we've got like a Pac-Man. Now what you have here is you have the inner radius. So this here is the inner radius. Okay, so it will start from here, and whatever you add to it gets taken away. So now you've got the letter C. So by playing with these settings, okay, you can now have different shapes. And what's so good about this is that you don't actually have to come in and start again. You don't have to come in with a pen tool. If you were thinking of making a letter, or you were thinking of making like a, you know, a Pac-Man or something, you know, you could come in and you could, just by using these options here, you can come in and do some basic stuff. Okay, so this is what's so good about the shapes. It allows you a lot of freedom. You can get a lot of style shapes again by making shapes. So let me quickly highlight this, delete that. Again, if we just grabbed ourselves a rectangular marquee tool, okay, we could come in with the sub selection tool. We can actually edit these points to change the shape that we want. Okay, bring it down. If we wanted to come into the pen tool, we could add an anchor point, and we can then come back in with a sub selection and make a different area. So we have so much power over shapes. It is unbelievable how much power we have. And again, like I said in the last tutorials, every time you do this, the lines are pretty clear. So you all know now, if you wanted to change the color of the inner thing, all you do is make a selection of that, change the color to whatever you want. Let's say we wanted a stroke to be green, and that will allow you to change your shape color, your shape stroke, your style of your shape to pretty much anything that you want. Take it easy, guys and girls. Catch you at the next one-stop tutorials. Please subscribe to YouTube, helps move things along, and we shall catch you very soon. Laters, everyone.